What's going on, everybody? Happy New Year. Oh my gosh. Today is a really special day. It's a really special day. I am just so excited to be here with all of you. Happy New Year. How about that? Let's start with that. Happy 2023. Did you even think that it was going to come to this? Did you even think that we would be in 2023? Listen, this is going to be your year. If I want to start off with that first and foremost, just know that this is going to be your year. Why? Because you're already claiming it, because you're saying so. Listen, we done been through a lot in the past couple of years. How about that? Years. Time waits for no one. Years. Let me repeat that. Time waits for no one. Years. I just got to celebrate for a second. What's going on? I'm waiting for more people to jump on. I don't know if you're watching me on YouTube, if you're watching me on Facebook. Just put a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're at. Let me know that you're here. Before I give this big announcement, I'm just so super excited about everything. When I tell you everything, life is exactly what you want it to be. So I'm here today because it's an energetic thing. It's January 11th, 111. That's what day it is. 111. I just love this little music behind me, right? It's just rocking me out. Let me see where you from. Let me see who commenting. Let's see. There is my triplet. What's going on, Carolyn Wilson? Look, if you ever thought that there is another Carolyn Wilson, and there she is right there. Look at her. Beautiful queen right there. I remember meeting her at the B Expo, and she walked past my banner, and she was like, "That's my name." And I'm like, "That's my name. That's our name." So much love and hearts to you, Carolyn. Happy New Year to you. Listen, you guys. When I tell you that I have some great news, I have some amazing news. Some news that it was worthy for me to go live on all three of my platforms to share this news with you guys. So I'm trying to wait to see if some of my folks will come in with me, so that way we can share in this experience together, so you can meet some people. Because I just want to let you know that this time last year, we were celebrating and we were announcing something grand, and it was something called Her Story. Let me tell you about this before I get into what the other thing is. Let me tell what's going on, everybody. Look, put your name in the chat. Let me know where you're coming from. Hello. I'm so glad that you're here. Happy New Year to everybody. Look, I'm just going to say Happy New Year. You know, it's 111. You know, it's great energy. Listen, great energy today, all day, every day, because this is where we're at. So this time last year, I have to celebrate and give and basically give a shout out to all these amazing women and ladies from Her Story. If you do not have this book, I'm trying to tell you, it's a game changer. It's a life changer. It has changed so many lives. It's literally the 25 women. Here we go, right here, from all around the world. Let's give a shout out to, we got New Zealand, we have Hong Kong, we have Kenya, we have London, we have Barbados, we have Guyana, and we have all throughout the United States. These 25 women, let me tell you, these 25 women poured their soul out so that way other women can do the same thing. And so when I tell you that, and I see, come on, click on that other link so you can come behind stage with me, okay? I see you. Good morning. So here we go. We got Julian coming on here. I want you to come backstage with me. So here's by way of Lindenwold, New Jersey. Amen. We got the minister in the house. So listen. Thank you guys. I am just, when I tell you I'm excited. When I tell you that 2023 is going to be the year for me, every year seems to be the year, right? But when I tell you that 2023, it's already here. I already claimed it. Already see everything. Let me tell y'all, I'm already in 2025. That's how live I am right now. I'm already in 2025. 2023 already happened for me, and 2024. Can you say that? Can you really believe that? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And so now here we go with her story. Today, on this day, last year, we introduced the world to her story. And let me tell you, that has impacted all 6 continents, thousands of readers around the world. I'm still getting messages. I'm still getting contacts about what this book is doing for them. And so I'm just so excited to announce some additional things that are going to be transpiring and happening in 2023. So, this is just a message to anyone out there that if you have something that's in you and you have a dream and you have something that you believe that you had an idea and you may not know how, but you just know the what. I want you to put all your energy into that what. Put everything that you got into that what. I want you to believe it as it already exists, even though you don't know how it's going to. I want you to see yourself having this thing happen. I want you to believe that it's already there. And see, that's going to change the atmosphere around you. That's going to allow the energy to flow. That's going to allow everything that's supposed to be in alignment for you to come directly your way. And when I tell you, like I tell you, I would never have thought that this right here, this thing right here, this thing right here would do exactly what it was going to do. And it set up the stage for what I'm going to announce for you today. And so I'm going to put a call out for my folks that are watching that need to come and click on the other link. Y'all know who I'm talking to. So you can come backstage and you can come on this broadcast with me. So because I want to showcase the world, I want to showcase you to the world. I want to have this conversation as we announce this amazing thing that's going to transpire today. So listen, her story. Her story, if you don't know about her story, it stands for her. I am her, you are her, we are her. And that is being healed, empowered, and resilient. And when I tell you that in that space of being healed, empowered, and resilient, you can allow anything that your heart desires to come true. Listen, her story has allowed me to not only just impact the women that were in the book, but other men and women around the world. It's allowed me to travel. It's allowed me to see things and experience things that I would never have experienced if I would have just said, I don't know how to do this, or I can't do this. See, but I just knew the what and the how all filtered in. So I want you guys to focus on that. You guys have been watching me. You guys have been seeing everything that I'm doing. And listen, it all comes when you believe. It all comes when you believe. Thanks for coming in. I'm still waiting for some of my folks to come and join me because I want you guys to be here with me. Listen, you guys. So let me check one thing while I'm here with you guys. Let's see, where are they at? All right. So I'm just going to just jump right into this thing because I don't know where they are. They're not coming on with me. So it looks like it's just you and me. How about that? Are you ready? If you're ready, I want you to just say ready. Put ready in the chat. Just say you're ready. Like, I want you to tell me what, matter of fact, I want you to tell me what you're ready for 2023. How about that? Tell me what you're ready for 2023. Let's go. What are you ready for? I know what I'm ready for. And I'm going to share with you what's about to transpire today. Ready. I see ready. I see ready. I see ready. I see we ready. Yes, we ready. So I see two. Click on. So I'm looking at two people here. I'm ready to be bold. Yes. Liz. Yes. Ready to be bold. Yes. Let's do this. Bold. BOLD. Look, wait a minute. Look. She says she is ready to be bold. Boom, ready to be bold, ready to be bolder like nobody's business. And listen, I see Florence. She says she's ready. She's ready. Ricardo is ready. Listen, I want you guys to come on, go back. And so I'm putting a shout out to Ricardo and to Julian, who I just saw on here. Go into and click on the other link. So that way you can come on here with me. All right. So new challenges. Listen, you guys. Thank you. Listen, new challenges to overcome and improve. Yes, Leslie. What else? What else we got? What else we got? Ready. I'm ready. So not just ready. I'm ready. My new business and endeavors. Listen, this is how we should be every year, every day, every second. Not just because we're turning into a new year, a new calendar year, but you need to operate in this space. Like Carolyn said, my triplet. And there's a reason why it's a triplet, because I went to school with another person, Carolyn Wilson. So yeah, there's more of us that exist. How about that? So just be ready. Be ready. And this is one thing that I always tell my ladies: be ready. Be ready. Be ever so ready. I've learned that from my past, to be ever so ready. So ready to bring to fruition an assignment from God. That part. Listen, the assignment. Listen, if you guys remember the conference from last year, it was all about the assignment. Like, we are all on a divine assignment. This was a divine assignment. My life is a divine assignment. Your life is a divine assignment. You just have to be ready for the challenges that are going to come. You have to be bold. So I'm going to use your words, right? Be bold for the things that are going to come your way, and just know that it's going to come to pass. Just know that. Just believe that. Just listen. Like my name is Carolyn and not Linda. How about that? What I'm here to tell you, I'm here to tell you that God can move mountains, and that's who I'm going to serve. That's who I'm going to claim is going to be God, right? And so we got some amens going on here. So I'm thanking you guys. Thank you for having this conversation with me. But what I'm seeing and what I'm understanding and realizing that, faith without works is what? We already heard that word, is dead. So when you don't put in the work, you got to believe. You got to believe like you believe, like you believe. Like when I'm going to try not to cry on here, but I'm trying to tell you that I am so excited about this year. I am so excited about last year. I'm so excited about next year. I'm just excited. And that's how we have to be. Even when there's moments when I'm like, and I can't see through the muck. But I just know that from my past, I know that there was a moment that I was able to see through. So that's what continues to get me to go forward. That's what allows me to keep moving. That's what allows me. I'm giving you my blueprint, right? That's my blueprint. See, but I need for you to dig in and find out what your blueprint is. And part of the keys to that is just believing, seeing it, understanding it, being ready and understand that God has an assignment for you. You just have to believe it and trust the process. So when I share some things that you got to give God something to bless, let me, girl, you better go. You got to give God something to bless. Let's get to work. 2023 is the year to look. She made me walk away. Look, you made me walk away from that. 2023. I see you backstage. Yes. Okay. We got one backstage. So here we go. Listen, 2023 is the year to be. I was saying it was the year for me, but I like that. It's the year to be. It's the year to be. Be ready. Be courageous. Be you. Be everything that you need to be to fulfill the assignment. I like that, to fulfill the assignment that you have been called to do. So I don't know. I got one of them backstage with me. I'm waiting for the other one to come backstage. Come on backstage, because I'm just so whoo when I tell you woo. So I'm gonna bring you. So are you ready? Are you ready for me backstage? You ready? Okay, all right. So I'm gonna bring somebody to the forefront. I'm gonna bring somebody to the stage, and we're just gonna have a little conversation, right? Still not gonna tell y'all what we're doing yet. Yeah, but we just gonna have a little conversation. You ready just to have a conversation? You ready? Are y'all ready for me to bring somebody so we can have a little conversation about, having year 2023 is a year to be. Liz, I am just taking that one from that is yes, it's the year to be. So it's the year to be great. It's the year to be you. It's the year to be unapologetic. It's the year to be authentic. It's the year to be transparent. It's the year to whoo. It's the year to be her. And it's the year to be creative. Yes, it's the year to be him. And I'm going to bring one of my hymns up here. And I'm going to bring, are you ready, Mr. Julian? I'm gonna add you on now, bent over. Where you at? Okay, here we go. All right.
Ready.
All right. What's going on, boo?
Hey, what's up? Good morning, everybody.
Good
Happy New Year to everybody. I pray that everybody's New Year was blessed. We are here.
Yes.
2023. We have made it.
We have made it. We have beyond made it. 2020. Listen, I was saying 2023 and me, 2023 and you. It's 2023. Right. Like, can you believe that? First and foremost, let's just pause on that for a second. Where were you? Okay, at the end of 2019, where was your thinking when you were heading into 2020? So because this is the same time of year, right? Which is like
you want to go there. 2019.
Yeah, 2019, because we were heading into 2020, right? We were
definitely headed into 2020. 2019, I was all over the place. I can be honest. I was very emotionally unstable, mentally unstable. I lost my job. I was going through a very, very bad breakup, getting out of a toxic relationship that I really didn't have no business being in. So you know how you kind of sort of get out of one relationship and then you go right into another one, and just horrible. just horrible. But we eased it right on by. But listen, I was definitely not in a good headspace. And then that latter year, I want to say God gave me a glimpse. He kind of sort of opened the door, but I didn't get the full door open, but he gave me a crack. And I got an opportunity to work in a play that Ann Nesby was in, and she was touring around this play doing Mahalia Jackson before we got all these other people doing it, like Lettucey has a movie out of Mahalia Jackson. Lifetime did a movie before they did all of that. And Nesby was going around touring one. And I got an opportunity to be in that. And then we're going to fast forward. You already know, got to shout out my Aunt Yolanda. Shout out to my Tabernacle Interdenominational Choir family. Y'all on here, I love y'all. We actually did a Christmas play in 2019. Well, not a Christmas play, but a Christmas concert. And I actually happened to lead a song in that. And me and you connected. And that's when I was telling you I had just started going to therapy. So shout out to anyone that is in therapy. Even if you guys are thinking about it, I encourage everybody, man, woman, boy, girl, teenagers, because believe it or not, even some of the kids, they do need therapy. I mean, listen, I know what it was like going through high school, going through peer pressure and different things. I can't even imagine what half of these kids have to deal with now, with some of these schools being massacred and, people bringing in bombs, and, we still have bullying issues and stuff. So it's very important. Your mental health is very, very important. Mm-hmm. So started going to therapy for that. And then that's when you were sharing with me about her story. And you were telling me how you were getting ready to come out with the book. I even think you had just started your weight loss journey.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's how about that.
It was a lot going on.
It was a lot going on, right? It was a lot going on.
Just an instant connection for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I'm glad you brought that. That's why I wanted us to kind of go back a little bit, because I want people to understand that where we've come through, what we've come through. We're in 2023, and 2019. We were headed into a new year. We all had these plans of what we were thinking. Like, I was on a weight loss journey.
Right.
My film.
I'm literally trying to get my mind back.
Right. My film was, just coming out and starting to do some things.
Right.
And then, then the world just kind of went.
The pandemic
Right?
hit us, and everything literally came to a pause.
It
It was
came to a
everything was
pause.
on
It came
stop.
to a pause.
Unless you were a frontline worker like me, because I work in the medical field, and
Mm-hmm.
even then, I didn't want to go to work. Having to
Right,
wear
right.
N95 mask and
But you know
PPE
what, too?
constantly.
Even with that, her
Even seeing a
story,
lot of death with that.
yeah, that's
We
true.
lost a
That's
lot of
true.
people.
That's true. That's true.
Mhm.
So her story actually was birthed in the midst of all of that. When
Mhm.
I was like, you know what? Let's just. But it wasn't birthed until towards the end of 2020. Let's keep that. It was, matter of fact, it wasn't even birthed until 2021. So how
Okay.
about that? It took me some time. It took me some time. So I see another king backstage. I see you. I see you. You ready? You ready to come through? You right? I see that smile. I love it. Y'all probably like, what is she doing today? Y'all going to soon find out. Y'all going to soon find out. What's going
What's
on, King?
up, my beautiful people?
What's up? What's up?
What's up? Here is Central Florida.
Yes,
Here we
Florida,
are.
bring us some of that sunshine. We need some of that
Yes,
sunshine. Need some of that sunshine.
yes.
So listen, I know you heard, you jumped on. You was kind of giving us some. You're ready. I'm slow walking stuff, so I'm kind of breadcrumbing them every little bit right now, right? So great group of people. Yes. Here's your wife, Liz. Yes, these are a great group of people. Yes, we are. So listen, as the question, when we talked about, like, right now, this is 2023. It's the year to be. I love that. It's the year that, everything that we said we wanted. And the reason why I'm saying, where were we in 2019 before we even thought about a 2020 and everything? Because I want people to understand that time in between.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want people to really focus on that time in between. And so that question is same to you. 2019, getting ready, okay, got a new year coming. What were you thinking? We're not even talking about the pandemic. We just talking about, it was just a new year. Where were you? Do you remember?
2019 was a perfect example of present time. We're here today and we don't know tomorrow.
Mm.
Huge, huge.
Ooh.
I was working for a banking institution merely because I needed medical benefits, and the pay was horrible, the hours were horrible, but I needed to provide medical benefits for my family. Um, and I toughed it out for about a year and a half just to try to learn as much financial stuff as I could, whether coworkers, from customers, from leaders. Um, and then came, this whole pandemic and all of this madness. For me personally, it was a huge blessing, and let me explain. It's kind of ironic how for everybody situations are different. I was in a situation where I was struggling getting my wife and I to row in the same direction with the same purpose and same plan. And why was this such a huge blessing for me? Because it brought my family back to my home and it locked us in. So we were able to get the distractions out of the way, shut the noise down that was in the outside, and we were able to work together. Now, in my specific situation, my wife and I have always worked best under pressure. Um, I'm an over preparer. She kind of waits for the last minute on things, but that pressure that the pandemic brought us together back to back, and let's fight. Obviously scared, both being entrepreneurs, not knowing what was going to happen in the world. Our generation had never been through something like that. It definitely scared us, but it was a huge blessing because it brought us closer. Like I said, it just shut the noise off outside. It was just us, and we were able to kind of position ourselves to get to where we are now, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh no, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And that's why, yeah, she's like that right there. She like that right there. That look, that part right there, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's like you said, it's literally what you make of it. It could have been, some people are looking at it, wow, it was the worst time ever. For who? It was only the worst time if you allowed it to be the worst time.
Mhm.
Yeah. Were we constrained? Yes. Did we have limitations? Yes. Were we losing our everlasting mind? Oh yeah. We talked about the mental health. You know, you were already. And see, here's the thing. Let's think about people who were already on the crux of that, and then here this comes, and now it just exasperates it and makes it worse, right? And
Right.
and for men, for women, for all of us, and it's literally, you know, it had us sit still.
Mhm.
It had us sit still and reevaluate
Absolutely.
Right.
ourselves.
And most importantly, more than reevaluate the reason why a lot of people were uncomfortable or they didn't like it is because you had no time but to self-reflect. That's all you could do. Like, so you really had that time to sit here and do nothing but look within yourself and make you think about the things that you put off, make you think about the things that you didn't follow all the way through, make you think about even some stupid decisions, make you think about boundaries that you never set. So because you couldn't go out, we couldn't go shopping, you couldn't go to the movies, you couldn't go, to see a play or to the club or whatever you like to do for fun, you had no recreational time now. Everything that you had to do in the home. So
Right.
it definitely did bring a lot of families back together. It made you get creative. That's why you have a lot of these TikTok people now. When it made people crack jokes, and you really had to go back to the basics. So if you look at it in a positive way, it was a good thing. It was a good thing for a lot of people.
It was a reset.
Mm-hmm.
It was a reset. We got plenty of times in the Bible where we seen where that happened. There was a reset.
Right. Whether you wanted to or not. This time you had no choice but to reset.
We had no choice but to reset. And so now we are here. You know, we are. That's like, you think about it, that's 3-4 years, right? And years, like that's the part I need people to understand. It's
Mhm.
not days, it's not seconds, it's not minutes, it's years.
We
So
thought it would have been just a week or two or maybe a month, and it
Right.
turned out to be 3 years. It's crazy.
3 years. And I just saw something where, and this is, where they're still, testing people and trying to figure out what these other new variants are. But that's a sidebar. But it just goes to show that we are still in this thing,
Right.
but it's all in what your perception of it. And it's now that you're still here, because you're here. You're here for a reason. You're here for back to this assignment. You're here there's an alignment of all of us when we come into contact. Like Julian talked about, how we connected back in 2019. And Ricardo, we connected literally, last year, right? Last year, literally, last year, like a few days ago, right? But and it's just, we never know the pathways that we're going to intersect with. And there's a purpose and there's a reason for every interaction, whether you like it or not.
Tell me about it.
Right. Whether you like it or not, there's a reason for that interaction. And so it takes that time to now learn to reflect, like Julian said, self-reflect. So here we go, divine appointment. Absolutely. She's on fire, man. I love it.
Definitely. It's I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. And what I love about this hymn story is that we're all different.
Right.
We all bring something different. We all have different struggles, different wins, different failures, whatever. Personally, my relationship with the Lord is very special. I get into some serious arguments with him sometimes, and we just have that bro relationship, But something I've learned these last couple of years, and when you and I met, was one of those, I told you so from him, was me trying to overcome certain fears. I've always had it in my heart to share my story, to be extremely transparent, to lead, because of my situations, to lead with where I messed up, where I was wrong, because that's part of my story. Obviously, in this chapter, I wasn't able to get everything in there, but we'll have more opportunities and more time to do so. But God will definitely position you in a place where, if what your heart desires you don't have the nerves to step forward to, he'll make it happen. So, for example, I've always been nudged about public speaking, motivating, using my stories, what I've been through to motivate and help others that can relate. Well, I was always held back from that because I speak really fast and I tend to stutter. And it's embarrassing if you have to read in public, if you have to speak in public, whatever it may be. So sometimes I catch myself speaking really slow in order to avoid that. So even this invite to be part of this book, I knew that some of this stuff had to happen. And I'll be honest with you, it took my sleep away.
Mm.
You were messaging me for the first month or so, and I tried to avoid it by all means. I'm just being honest because I'm sure there's people that feel the same way and go through that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Something that for this young man could be, I have no problem speaking. What should I do? That's my biggest hill, my biggest mountain. But I have so much to share. And yeah, how did we meet? Over a lunch? Shared a little bit about my story. You shed some tears and you said, will you please join me and just share your story with us and the world? I'm sure there's got to be someone out there that's been through what I've been through or is about to go through it or is facing some of those challenges. And maybe me speaking to them can just shed some light in their path to where they can move forward. It's crazy.
Exactly. So it's Julie, you was about to say something? I saw you.
He just messed me up when he said he didn't get no sleep. I'm like, you didn't get any sleep, and I kept wrestling. With my story because number one, my story it's a very uncomfortable place even for me. Right. So I really had to go there, and I don't want to say recant, but you have to relive some things. You have to relive some choices. You have to relive some decisions that really when you're not there anymore. See, I'm not the same person who I was back in 2019 and 2023. So when you go through those journal entries and you go through your writings and you're looking at certain things, it's like, Lord Jesus, what was I thinking? Or where were you? Or where was I that I missed you? That it caused me to make all these decisions and choices that, you learn to forgive and you move on. But in the back of your head, sometimes you just can't get it all the way out of your mind. It's always like that. Okay, so like I told her, I rewrote my story about, I'm going to say 50 million times. I'm adding stuff, taking out stuff, putting stuff back in, moving stuff around, trying to figure out where to end it. And I can say it now because she teased me about it. I think we had like 1,100 words or like 1,000 words. She said I went above that. And I'm like, my story is very different and it's unique. And it puts me in a very vulnerable place. So my brother, I commend you for saying yes, number one. And number two, I commend you for your boldness and your courageousness. Because it's not easy. Like they say, men don't talk, but we do. But a lot of times when you have to put that stuff down on paper and then you realize, okay, I'm listening to what we were saying in our last meeting. We're getting ready to go overseas. We're going here. We're going there. And I may not know these people, but after this story, they're going to get to know me. So whoever's going to be reading this is going to know the things that I experienced, the things that I went through. And then prayerfully, it is to reach a young man or even a young woman that they don't have to make the same decisions. They don't have to do it the way that I did. And if you do fall into whatever you fall into, you're always able to come back out. You're always able to get your life back.
Right.
And that's what I thank God for this opportunity for.
Absolutely.
Wow. So if you guys are listening to, yes, you're getting love out there. So listen, I if you guys are listening and you're really paying attention, they kind of are leaking this stuff out a little bit, what we're going to announce today, right? So once again, you guys, are you really ready? Because I kept saying, y'all not really ready for this. Like, we're ready, but I don't know if the world is ready. I don't think y'all think. Look, Kings, what y'all think? What y'all think?
I think they ready. I think they ready.
They ain't got listen, they wasn't ready for this. So here we go. Listen, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. When I tell y'all no sleep, team no sleep. This is the one team no sleep. You thought you were, like here's the thing. So here's another level of transparency, and I hear you, being anxious, being like, oh my gosh, like, okay, I gotta write this thing, and okay, I'm just trying to avoid her. Okay, like, why she keep reaching me? Like, okay, but I'm persistent because I knew, see, God said. See, you can't deny what God said. See, we run from what God tells us to do. I ran from this. God gave this to me years ago, but it wasn't until I sat still. It wasn't until I sat still.
It's funny you say that. Briefly in my chapter, I'm just gonna leak just a tiny little grain out there. I mentioned how God has followed me into some really dark places. And I've also dragged him into some really dark places. But what I'm grateful the most about is him showing up at times like these, For everyone who's going to read this book, know that we're not perfect.
Right.
We are men of all walks of life, different cultures, different mannerisms, different ways of being, different backgrounds. But these are just hand-picked, chosen men who have something to say, Enough with the taboos, enough with so many years of pressing us down because we are the men, we are the providers, we are the head of the household. But you know what, folks? We have feelings.
Exactly.
We have a heart. We suffer, we cry, we miss. We quench, we're all humans. We have beating hearts, and because we're seen as a masculine figure, the strong one, the sometimes we're kind of put aside and we don't deal with that because that's the way that it was supposed to be. So I definitely encourage everyone watching to share these stories, tell someone, encourage someone to read. Look, one more thing. I just recently read my first book ever. I was the type of person that I would start reading, and as I was reading, I'm literally thinking about what I got to do tomorrow, my grocery list, reading comprehension. I mean, always started and never finished. And although it wasn't a big one, I'm proud of it. It's a big win for me. Small little tiny book.
Okay.
And
gotta celebrate those small victories.
Absolutely.
So I definitely encourage everyone watching, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, you can relate to a family member, to yourself. Share this stuff because these men, honorable, intelligent, mature men, really opened up their heart and really opened up their minds to let everyone in. Things they would have probably taken to the grave. That's simple.
Right.
I often wonder how many people left this earth without sharing something that could have helped someone else.
Wow.
I think it's huge.
It is.
I definitely encourage everyone watching to share it, promote it. It's needed. The world is going in some crazy directions, and we're the ones here now. I think it's definitely on us to try to make a difference, and I'm still trying to figure it out. But this is a great opportunity and platform for us men to share the him story. It's great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, thank you. I am trying. That's why to come off, because I'm like, yo, you're gonna make me cry. I can't cry. I'm Mary J. Blige right now, and then your wife just double team me right now. Like, thank for being obedient to what God's calling you to make this impact. For such a time as this, like this is, and that's literally
such a time as now. Like right now, we're doing the work. Like we're just setting the foundation.
So if you guys are really wondering what we're talking about, like I said, I have her story with her, being healed, empowered, resilient. And if you don't have this book, I'm trying to tell you, you need to get this one. Today is our anniversary of becoming bestsellers. Like, I keep moving this book around like y'all can't see it. So here we go. Her story. I'll drop the link so you can get her story. But we're here today to really, in addition to, and this is all energetic. So when the ladies are kind of like celebrating with you as well. So you heard them talk about their stories. You heard them talk about him. And this is, once again, God just kind of, when he gives you something, you have to be obedient to what he gives you. Don't underestimate it. Don't think that it's crazy. Don't think that you don't know how to do it. Just know that and trust the process. Even when it scares you. Like I'm very, I'm persistent because I know that God, I know what God can do and I know what he's doing. And so I don't really always know what he's doing. Let me retract that one. But I understand the power of what he can do. How about that? And that's when you just trust and you just believe and you allow him to just use you in a way that's greater than what you could ever imagine. That's why I wanted us to go back to think about 2019 as we were going into 2020, thinking about, okay, we got a whole new year and blah, 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 blah. And 3 months in, everything changed. And we were in denial for about a good 3 months before we realized, oh, this is for real. And now what? And now we're getting antsy. We can't wait for this to end. And then here it is again, 2021. And are we still doing this? And then here it is, 2022. Wow. It's not really going anywhere. Kind of, sort of, kind of, but I don't know. But now here we are, 2023. That's why I wanted us to understand that time in between. If you have something in you, it's time for it to come out. So you heard these kings, and I'm calling them kings because that's what they are. You just heard them share some things, just a snippet of who they are. Because there is this myth that men don't talk. Lady, we kind of came up with that one, that men don't talk. We don't think they talk. They talk. They really do. We just got to listen. And when they do talk, it's profound. It changes the world. That's why I said I don't think the world's ready for this. So I don't think the world is ready for this. Yes, we process internal. There's another one of the kings. Yo, come on in the room with us. Come on in the room with us. Real life example of Ephesians 3:20. Oh my gosh. So here we go. Wait a minute. This is one of our other kings right here. Joseph. What's up, Joseph? All the way down. Also, he's in Atlanta, Georgia. And then here's, listen, the him story is just a real life example of Ephesians 3:20. Oh my gosh. Where's the link? Look in the group. Look to all my kings. Go in our group, and the link is in our group. Someone help our kings out. Brothers, help your brethrens out. They want to jump on with us too. So, but what we're talking about, if you guys are waiting to understand what we're talking about, this is, okay, I got to set this stage while I get some more kings. They probably try to. Julian, if you can go in the group and kind of tag, it's Lamar and Joseph. They're asking, just kind of help them out a little bit. Help them out a little bit. So I got to put some happy music on again. See, because I want this to play without it being, retracted. Because I was gonna play something. I'm so excited, but they'll copyright stuff. They'll get me on that. So listen. I want you guys to write this down. I want you guys to go to this Bitly Him Story Anthology. Yes! This is what, oh my God, I'm just so excited. You get to see all about what we're talking about. I just want to show you guys just right now. Him Story. Let me get this off so you can see. Him story. Sorry, Julie, I'm kind of.
I love it. No, it's good. I love it.
Hold up, wait a minute. No,
I'm just loving it. I can't wait till I get the physical copy. Once I get the physical book, we did it. Like, we are here.
We are here to announce to the world
This
Tim
picture is
Story
everything. The picture is
honorable,
everything.
intelligent, matured, and what it took for them to get to this place and space to be him, to really truly be this man of God, to truly be this man of valor, to truly, because in order for him to be him, he had to be her. Did y'all get that? In order for him to be him, he had to be her. He had to be healed. Yeah, men heal. He had to be empowered. And he had to be resilient to the weights of the world. And God has basically said, listen, we need them just like they need us. And this is the way it has to, and this is what it is. It's him story. Because he has a story. And when we allow them to just share it, the world will change.
Absolutely.
The world will change. So I'm just so uberly excited about this. You guys have no idea. No idea. I'm waiting for him to come back. But in the meantime, like I'm just kind of like I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. I'm just at a loss. So tell me your feelings. Like, okay, you already said you were antsy, and you know we still have some more things to do. So today is just the announcement of this amazing book. You can go to this bit.ly him story anthology to get put on the listen. Be the first one to know when it's live, when you can get the book. We are launching this thing come February 11th. So you're going to hear a whole lot from us and all these kings. And I'm waiting for the other ones to jump on them, give them a little shout out. They're going to celebrate, you know, like our women from her story. You know, this has been a journey that they're just so excited for you guys. It's man, let me tell you. You know, just came off of this Her Story World Tour. So now we're about to do Her and Him. Listen, we're about to take the world by storm.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited. Like just putting it out there. Listen, today is energetic. You know, today was the day that Her Story went, you know, became a bestseller in multiple categories. It was available. Today is the day that we're announcing to the world, listen, look out for us. February 11th, launch date, release date. February, we're going to celebrate. We're going to have a 2-day book launch. You're going to get to meet all the amazing men. Listen, let me drop some of these chapter names. I'm not even going to tell you who it belongs to, but I'm just going to just listen. Just listen to some of these chapters. I'm trying to listen, you guys. Listen, if you ever wanted to know what they think, what's on their heart, what's in their soul, challenges. How to stay focused through it all without losing your mind. Ascension. Your past doesn't have to dictate your future. Human photosynthesis. Trust God's process. Ooh. Meet Julian, straight no chaser.
That's me.
That was the giveaway.
Hi, everyone. Now you know who I am.
Didn't see this coming. That's a chapter. The story of him. Story of him. Peace within chaos. Renaissance man awakening the giant within. It's not okay, but I am.
Beautiful.
Aspiring to be him. Father versus son, son versus father. And I was wearing a mask way before COVID-19. That's just a snippet.
I like the title of that one.
And yet there's more. So listen, go to this Bitly Him Story anthology. You get to read about it. You get put on. We will let you know when it is available for you to get it. Listen, listen. That's all I'm gonna say is listen. Listen. So anything, I don't know where the other two kings are at. So let me see if they pop in. But listen, how are you feeling? Just it's still scary. Don't get me wrong, but just knowing that this is happening, it's happening.
I think I'm past the scary stage. Like I said, I'm just excited. I'm ready to take off running now. Like I'm just ready. Like I said in the meeting, like I'm ready to go out there and meet some people, save some lives, encourage some folks. Like be an inspiration to the world. Like spreading positive vibes, love. Like because that's the goal. Like I said, I really want my story. I want all my king stories, but specifically, I want my story to reach somebody, especially because my story is very unique and it's something that's still taboo in our culture and in our race. So it's like, when people get I know y'all like me, Julian, straight no chaser. Like, and then once you see what's in my story, it's going to be like, oh, okay.
Just leave it right there.
Right. Right.
And just leave it right there. And then we have the story of him. The story of him.
The story of him is it's not your typical story. It's different. It's definitely different. I put myself in 99% of the situations I got myself into. Dealt with shame and guilt for many years, and it was just time to release it. Many years back, I forgave myself. I forgave many, and I'm just excited. I'm really, 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 really excited. I keep reminding myself that this is not about me. It's not about you. It's about him. Who's him? Anybody that can relate to any of these stories. We wrote out these chapters, and here's a spoiler: we haven't read each other's chapters. So I'm eager to get this book in my hand.
Right.
And I want to see what this whole chaser is about. I definitely want to know, and I can relate to what it is to wear a mask before COVID.
Right.
I mean, it's going to be huge. It's going to be impactful. And my hope and prayer is that if one life is changed or impacted, or if we can prevent something very bad from happening, guys, it was worth it. It was worth it. Right. With mental health, we have a lot of people right now taking their lives.
Right.
People, and that stuff don't discriminate against anybody, as we've seen recently. So that's my hope and prayer, that these stories, what these men shared, could definitely impact someone's life, a family, a partnership or relationship, professionally, personally, psychologically, mentally, in any way, shape, or form. And I'm truly, truly, truly humbled to be invited to this and thankful to be here with you guys for that. That's awesome.
Right. And see, he just dived into my story a little bit. So he gave a little bit of my spoiler alert without reading it. So I think you're a little prophetic on that side. Because I hit a little bit on suicide. I actually tried to commit suicide 3 times. I hit on, therapy. And, like we said earlier, back in 2019, I was getting out of a very toxic relationship. And like I said, my story, it's very unique because, like I said, we don't talk about sexuality. We don't talk about, the LGBT community. And when we do, it's in a negative light. So being someone that used to be in that lifestyle, and now God has me in a place of deliverance, we talk about that in my story. But we had to talk about, too, how he allowed me to do whatever I want. And then one day, once I got out of that relationship, and I can remember, getting up at 5 a.m. and doing prayer, and then I would just have these long breakdowns to the point where I thought something was wrong with me. And when I reached out to a friend of mine, she was like, no, you're going through that process of heartbreak. So you have to learn how to be okay with that. And I can remember praying, and God said to me clear as day, I've allowed you to do it your way. Now are you ready to do it my way? And with tears in my eyes, I remember crying out, and God, I don't like this. It's uncomfortable. I don't want to do this, but I trust your process. I get what you're saying. I yield, because a lot of times we give God yes, but I call it a portion of our yes. We don't give him a fullness of our yes. We'll say, oh, yeah, God, if you get me out of this, I won't do it no more. And you may go a couple of days without doing it, but then you find yourself right back head first into it. See, when you make a vow to God, it's something that you really don't want to break, but because we fall under the grace and mercy, and we use that to the point where we can't use it up no more, we don't think that we can't frustrate the mercy of God. We think, yes, God is a loving God, but he's also a father. And when your children do wrong, as a father, you chastise your children. The scripture says he chastens those whom he loves. And I'm gonna leave it right there because I feel like I'm preaching, y'all.
Look. Yeah, you are. You got some amens up in the chat. Look, you got some amens in the chat, right?
I ain't trying to tune up and stuff. We're gonna leave
that. No. But I mean, but that's. Listen, when I tell you that these stories are raw,
mm-hmm.
they're unfiltered. They are authentic because I asked them. Because once again, we have this whole thing of men don't talk.
Mm-hmm.
See, but that's what we think. Women, we think that men don't talk, but they do. And they do say things that matter. And so I said, I gave them the challenge. I said, listen, be as authentic as you need to be. Be as real as you need to be, because it's your truth. It's your story. And for men to be taught to suppress stuff, and you can't share, and you can't be vulnerable, you can't be expressive. Well, you got to be expressive in a manly way, in a way that, you don't cry, you don't do this, you have to just be this certain way. But who do you express this to? How do you express this stuff, right? There's different versions and ways for you to be him, and that is being honorable, because you're honorable in who you are as yourself, because you honor yourself, because you honor God or whomever you choose as your higher power, right? And you're honorable in that space because you are abiding by the laws and the rules that are given to you. Yes. Do we all fall short? Absolutely. Do we repent? Yep. Do we mess up? Mm-hmm. But we have to get to a place where, you know what, now this intelligence got to kick in. It's like, okay, like we heard, Ricardo say, Ricky say, some of the things I took God with me. Like I took him with me on some of the things the choices that I made. Right. So, but then you have to get to a place where you're understanding there's consequences for a lot of the things that we do.
Yeah.
Right. It's consequences for those things. And so now, and when you care, now it's like, okay, you're tapping into something that's allowing you to make conscious decisions that will allow you to respond appropriately, opposed to just reacting, because we all just 2 ticks away from a boom. Mm-hmm. And I think men are even like 2.3 ticks away. Like they're not even a full 2 tick. They like a fraction of a tip. So like, one of the chapters about awakening the giant within, it's like there's giants within all of us, especially men, and they got to control that. That's a level of maturity, man, to be able to get to that space and really understand who you are, your placement in the world. So that way you could be respected, you could be heard, you could be seen, you could be, valued.
Mm-hmm.
When we allow you to just be. Right. And so with that, when we are allowing, when you guys can kind of give that narrative and that blueprint of what you did and how you got through different things in your stories, because we all have something. Nobody is storyless. I say that all the time. And so with this, now you guys have been able to now, come past that, and I thank you for that, and I thank you, and I'm honoring you for this, because I said I want to honor you, because it takes a lot to get to be him. Listen, it took a lot for me to get to be her. Right? It really did. So I get it. So that's worth celebrating. That's worth sharing it with the world, because here's the thing. I was on a call last night with another group of women that I'm working with, and I'll share that with you guys later. Can't wait. Well, listen, I'll just share it with you now. So we got her story 2 coming. How about that? Right? So we got bookends. Listen to this, Kings. You guys are like, we're covering you. You got her story to your left, you got her story 2 to your right, and we got our kings in the middle. So this is energetically, we are covering you in a greater capacity. Like the world won't cover, but we are covering you. And this is what I think we need to learn how to do. We need to learn to cover each other. You cover us and we cover you. Exactly. Because him needs her and her needs him. No matter how you slice it or dice it. We all have this polarity of our feminine and masculine energy, and we need to learn how to find a balance and harmony between them all. So I'm just like, with this, I just thank you for, even though it was like, I'm glad that you pushed through it. I'm glad that you did it. And for the rest of our kings who are still, because there's still someone here that's struggling. I know, and I'm talking to you. So I'm waiting. I'm not, I told you, I got you. We got you. It's okay. It's okay. Because healing really truly begins when you say okay. When you say yes. And then that's the start. That's how listen, I was on last night and I'm talking to the next group of women that's coming on board for the Her Story 2, because 2 is together overcoming obstacles, right? Because that's what we're doing. We're together overcoming obstacles, because I am her, you are her, we are her, all her. Male and female, we're all her. Because it has nothing to do with a gender, it has everything to do with being healed, empowered, and resilient. And so therefore now you could become him. I can be him, because I'm honorable, I'm intelligent, and I have become matured. So I can flip between the two, just like all of you can as well. So I'm on this call last night, and the young lady who's like just thanking me for being here, and she was like, "Do you remember me?" And I'm like, "No, not really." She's like, "I remember coming to your workshops at the library." I'm like, "Whoa." She was like, "And you were saying all this stuff back then." And I remember, and when I realized it was you, I was like, "Oh, I gotta be part of this," because I remember everything that you did. And you see, that's what I'm saying. You don't know the impact you can have on a person. I haven't had an event in the library and on Germantown Avenue in about 5 years. And so it was a lasting impression. So that's why, you guys, listen, time waits for no one. We're clear on that. If there's something in your spirit, if there's something in your heart, you have to do it and now, and be ready. Oh, I see. Okay, we got another king that jumped on. You ready? I'm gonna pop you in. I need you to sit up. I'm talking to you. Relentless. You laughing. You're doing something else. He's sitting there doing something else. I'm gonna bring him in. Then he go, "Oh, okay, here we go." So I just listen. I'm just kind of like, look, I was about to start preaching. So
I'm taking.
We up here having a platform service.
I was taking notes.
Platform service. Listen, I mean, yeah. So your wife said. So she said they were assigned to you, and that's why they are him story, and it's going to change lives. I truly believe it's going to change lives on so many different platforms. Like I'm starting to see part of the assignment, but not fully, because God doesn't give me everything, right? Just like he doesn't give us all everything. But I mean, Lamar, we got Lamar on here. He's one of the kings. Listen, I don't know. I know you've been watching. You're trying to figure out how to get on. I'm gonna give you a, if you want to, you like, yeah, I was trying to figure out. I'm gonna fight. you, man. Listen, so what do you got to say? Look, we just announced it to the world. Him Story is here. Listen, they got to go there so they can get the information when we come out. We're going to come out. We're coming out the gate as of today. This is just our grand announcement to everybody. Listen, it should be available real soon. Real soon. We're going to launch on February 11th, right in time for Valentine's Day. How about that, ladies? You get to really understand these men. So anyway, go ahead, Lamar. What you guys say?
I just want to commend y'all, like powerful, back and forth dialogue, like, just sharing your stories. I just want to salute y'all, this is like my 4th book project, and I always encourage people to be, I think everybody should be an author. I feel, because everybody, you control the narrative in your own story, right? And then what you go through and what you go through, and like Les Brown says, what you grow through, like it can heal somebody else, right? And all your stories, from what I heard so far about you guys, it's amazing. So I'm inspired. Carolyn, I'm always inspired by you. We since we met, we've been working. So when we talk about healing, right? So, pertaining to healing. So everybody talks about when they say, oh, I want to live a healthy lifestyle. And a lot of times, especially this time of year, because we're in the new year, and we're talking about switching up the way how we become more educated eaters, work out more. We have, we set these goals. But I always say that, the importance of you cannot spell the word healthy without spelling the word heal first, right? So that the word heal isn't healthy. And we have to always remember that, like the importance of healing from whatever pains that you may have been dealing with coming up, growing up, of course, being, Black in this world, we face different challenges than other people. But we just continue to strive and thrive over everything we come. And the importance of men getting together and combining, what we've had to overcome and what we've been through. I think is so much power in that. And I definitely want to stay connected with everybody from this project on, continue to help each other build, because we have to change the narrative in this world that, we don't know how to work together. Minorities, everybody. It's like, we can do this, and it has been done before. That's how we were able to last through different movements in time, civil rights movement, different movements just all through time and life. So like I said, I need you, you need me, we always say that, and I really mean that. So I appreciate everybody's honesty, everybody's realness, everybody's understanding, everybody's connection in God, everybody just showing that love, because it's inspiring. And this book right here, it's going to be so powerful, and I know there are many things that are going to come out of this, because this is one of our purposes, and this is why it's happening, and at this day and time. So, I heard y'all talk about the pandemic, and just asking about the 2019, what was going on in 2019 in my life, and one of my other businesses that I have is my ice cream business, and I was really seeing that thrive. So I was very excited about the the coming of next year in 2020, and then when everything hit, March, and our world changed literally. I'm the type of person where I reach out to people if I don't know something. I know a lot, but I don't know everything. But I couldn't call nobody and be like, yo, how you survive a pandemic? Because don't nobody know. You know what I mean? We always, we were trying to figure it out ourselves. So, that was a very, very good year for me from a business standpoint, but it definitely changed my world, because I lost my mom from that, and so it was like a roller coaster type of situation. And of course, it changed my world and everybody else's world when that happened, because you had to operate in a different way. And I agree with a lot of y'all saying. A lot of times you had to look in the mirror, you had to look at yourself, and you had to come up with, because a lot of people say, well, I wish it would go back to what it was. And I actually was enjoying the pandemic standpoint, for where you could just just had to, like, you had to reach inside of yourself. And I think a lot of people wanted to hurry up for it to, you know, come back, weren't really taking advantage of looking at themselves. And I think a lot of times some people they're afraid of the mirror. They don't want to look at the mirror. That's why they always pointing at somebody else, you know, because they don't want to look inside and look internal to see what's going on with themselves.
Whoa, pause. We got to pause on that one because Ricky, you talked about that too, right? About being able to look into yourself, you know, and it's like that was the time when people were not they had to now spend time with themselves, and I think people didn't like themselves because we're so busy with everything else.
It put a lot of people in a vulnerable place that a lot of people don't know how to go there. We're just so used to the mask and the everyday routine. I know I'm going to get up. I know I'm going to go to work. I know I'm going to do this. Like, I know how my day is going to go, versus you waking up now and you don't know what the day is literally going to bring you. Like, you know, you don't even know if they're going to have bread at the grocery store. You don't know if they're going to have tissue. Like, just these things that we often take for granted. Now it's like, oh, we might be becoming a third world country. Not realizing that they live through that every day, you know. So it really made you wake up too and count your blessings and see how really privileged us Americans are.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Because when it was snatched away, everybody was just like, I can even narrow it down to the church. And I'm going to say this: when the pandemic first hit, people were going crazy. They couldn't get into church. Oh, this ain't right. It don't feel good. I can't wait to get back into the building. As soon as I get back into the building, I'm going to do all this, that. I'm going to be faithful and dedicated again. Okay, let's fast forward till now in 2023. The church doors are opened up. Where's the attendance? Now people, well, I can watch it from home. I can do this or I can do that, or I can bypass the church. Okay, been there, done that, baby. It's nothing like being amongst the saints. I'm sorry, maybe I'm just a little too old school, but I'm not used to this new wave church. So it even came to show you how finicky as people we can be sometimes. We say one thing and then we do something totally opposite because, like I said, we never want to take that time to self-reflect. We don't want to take a look at that man or woman in the mirror and really have to say, you know what, my stuff is jacked up. It's jacked up. And that's what I talked about in my story, having to go through all of that and really having nothing but time on my hands, and where it's literally just me and God. You know, I was not working. You know, I wasn't in school. And then on top of that, going through a bad breakup, and I have nothing but these four walls around me. I was already in a pandemic before a pandemic had hit in 2019.
Oh, it was already in a pandemic before it even had. Right, exactly, right.
He was already in it. So I was already there. So by the time the world got caught up into it, I was already in it. But the beautiful thing about it is like I said to you guys earlier, I was already in the process of change. I was in the process of deliverance. So that's what made it a little easier for me. So while everybody else was surprised, I wasn't surprised because I'm like, I've already been going through. Now the whole world just has a chance to go through. So now nobody could say, oh, I'm in this thing alone. No, you're not, because we're all going through it. Everything got shut down. Not just certain cities, not just certain states. The entire world had to come to a halt. And I think we really didn't realize that. And and yes, we've come a long way, but we still have a long way to go because we're not out of this yet. And I just pray that it doesn't go back to the fact where we have to quarantine, because with the way people mindset and everything that's going on now, you don't know how people are going to respond to this. Because then too, doctors and medicine say that it's not good for you to isolate yourself for long periods of time like this. And they also say that it raises the risk or the level for you to get Alzheimer's and dementia. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
Wow. So Lamar, before we go, but this is like a whole, like you said, a whole panel conversation, right? But I love it. That's why I wanted you guys to come on, because I want them to get a snippet of who you are, and they're going to learn more about you. We're about to embark on this journey. Like, be ready. So Lamar, like, I don't know if you heard them, but I'm give you an opportunity to give us a little bit of a snippet of your story.
Yeah,
And her story.
absolutely.
I read all the chapters, so no one knows whose was what. So you might want to give them a little sneak peek.
Mine is I wanted to come for this project and spit kind of like what I'm dealing with now, but it's like a situation that's coming full circle. And so I'm speaking about my chapter's pretty much about forgiveness and redemption, right? So you know, I shared that my mom passed. So when that came down to it, my mom and I were like this. So when that came down to it, it was a situation where there was a lot of blame towards my father in my heart because he's supposed to be the protector. And him and I had like an oil and water relationship because how he treated my mom, how he treated my older brother and myself coming up. And so when my mom passes on, it's like now it's a situation where he's calling me for help because he's lonely. And he's just he's not in the right mind frame. So it took almost about 6, 7, 8 months after my mom passed for me really to start kind of being that caretaker for him because it seemed like he just kind of went down health wise, spiritually, mentally, physically, and so that wasn't easy for me. You know what I mean? And so a lot of times we hear in our communities the relationships that we may have with our fathers, our elders, and it's that disconnect. And I wanted to speak on, how God can come in there and he can really, because ain't no way. You told me in 2019 I would be like, no, hell no, like y'all playing a joke on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it ain't a funny joke. But coinciding what happened, obviously, situation's gotten a lot better. And I'm happy to be in this situation now. I had to accept my assignment. And we have many assignments when we, in this life that we live, we could be fathers, sons, brothers, friends, leaders, business owners, leaders, entrepreneurs, authors. And so we all have many, many titles as individuals. And that's part of our purposes. That's why I said I always use purposes with an S because we have multiple purposes. So I wanted to shed light on that. And I wanted to shed light on, I know there's people going through stuff and you know what I mean? And like I said, what happened, with my mom and how that happened. I just felt my father could have been more of a protector at the time. But, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. I cannot control that at all. And it's just something that God had to humble me with. So I thank Yahweh for that. And I just kind of like, look at it from a situation like, it's, forgiveness, it's for you. You got to let it go. So if God's going to forgive us for the many things we do to him, I got to forgive him for that, no matter how hard it is. And trust me, like I said, I be pulling my hair out in the beginning, like this is crazy. But now I've gotten to a point where, like, you know what I'm saying, it's beyond that. We a lot closer. That's my man. And a lot of times we have to realize too that a lot of our parents just didn't know. They didn't know. They just didn't know. They didn't have maybe some of the skill set in parenting. They just kind of learned from what they learned from theirs. And so now I find myself, teaching him. And like that's a true relationship. Any relationship, like I consider myself a relationship author. So people hear that initially, they always think I'm talking about dating. And I do write books about that. But I just talk about relationships, period. The relationships, like I said, with God, with yourself, with your family, with your loved one, with your community, with money, with everything. Like, relationships are the cornerstone of your existence. So I just wanted to put it out there and let everybody know, listen, man, no matter what. And I cannot front on my dad because my dad he's always going to be half of me. You know what I'm saying? So if I front on him, I front on myself. So, a lot of times you just got to say, hey, listen, you know what? And it's deeper. He's done some things in the past for me personally. And it's like, most people be like, man, F you, but I don't need to do this. But you know what I mean? I'm bigger and I'm better than that. So that's why I wanted to share that and let everybody know that, forgiveness is full circle, so.
Forgiveness is full circle. Wow. I was looking at at your brother Kings, and I was looking at their faces behind stage when you were sharing that. This is powerful, like, and so it's relatable to all of us, right? Forgiveness, not, redemption, I'm hearing. Then it's coming full circle, and just understanding, where you've been and where you're at now and where you have to go. Like, that's what I'm hearing from these three. It's and that's just a portion a portion of what you guys are going to get when you dive into this book, him story. Look, I'm saying her story, right? Because I've been on a her story journey. I'm still on a her story journey, and it's her story meets him story. How about that? And collectively, it's our story. So, but I mean, really, just make sure
you speak into the atmosphere. I hear another book, Our Story.
Yeah, it's our story. So I just want to thank these kings for coming on, and just for celebrating in this whole process, because it's a celebration, it's an announcement. Be ready, be ever so ready. Even when you're not ready, just be ready. Right? So listen, that's all I got to say is So I thank you, Kings. I thank you, everybody that's tuned in, that's going to celebrate with us. Listen, one for the road. Let me show you the wait, I gotta find it now. Wait a minute, where is it? One for the road. Let's one for the road, right there. Hold up, where am I? Right here, right there. Her story. And those guys right there, they're all part of him. So I really want to just think. Look, I got to do this so I can be like, hey, make screenshot that. So listen, I'm just so grateful for all of you to be here. Thank you, appreciate you, love you guys. I'm ready for the world. Are you?
I'm ready.
Let's make new history.
I'm ready. Let's save some lives.
Let's save some lives. All right, you guys. I'm going to end this. Listen, you guys go to bit.ly Him Story Anthology. Get on the list so that way you can know exact, and join our Facebook group. We have a Facebook. We're going to you get to meet the kings, and we're just going to celebrate launch February 11th. You can get a copy as soon as I get the okay. You'll be able to pre-order your copy, so you can be the first one. As soon as we drop it on February 11th, you'll have it. Listen, and we're gonna have a 2-day celebration where you're gonna really, like, you got something out of them today. Wait till we do all this launch. Wait till we do this launch. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. All right, you guys, have a wonderful and a blessed day. Take care.
Bye, guys.
All right.
See you.